They forgot to change one. So they probably got in a rush. Forgot to change one. Got an old one up in here. Really don't got nothing left. What up, though, people? Welcome back to Easy's Rebuilds. I'm Easy E, and as you can see from the thumbnail, we're working on the donor motor for the donation Monte Carlo, the white one, because she might not need the motor, but she needs the trans for sure. We're changing the motor on that car because we have no idea how many miles that car has on it, on that motor. But I have watched other YouTube channels on how to change the oil pan, and it says they can't do it. It's hard. Gotta take like 8 hours. My torpedo heater about to cut back on. So let's see what we got to deal with over here. But before we get all to that, I'm using a Pro Oil Pan Gasket. I got to do the valve cover gasket too. And while I'm at it, I'm going to be changing those pesky elbows that's made of plastic on this motor. Don't know if I want to change spark plugs and wires, but I'll probably end up changing spark plugs and wires. And not on this video. But these are the elbows. I'm talking about these, the original. They're the original plastic ones on here. So I'm going to get those off and get the metal ones, put the aluminum ones put on, since you got to take this whole thing off right here just to get this valve cover off when you take the valve cover gasket. But if this motor is in the car, this would be your passenger side. And what I've heard, you gotta use a crow's foot to get the bolts out from up under here, because obviously the crank is in the way. You know me at my butt, but I'll be trying to pull the crank off to get that out my way. But it's still got a shield behind here, but it's plastic. Just so you can get those two bolts. But I think it'd be very... Oh no, you got one over here too. So one behind here. Oh yeah, that's going to be kind of hard with it in the car. So yeah, they right. It'll take you a while. Because you got two more on this side behind this plate. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's buried, as you can't really see. But lucky for us, the motor is not in the car. So the motor in the car make it way easier. So I implore y'all, if y'all doing the engine swap with the 3800 Series 2 motor and the Monte Carlo, Impala, Buick, whatever, Pontiac, whatever, change your gaskets. Because obviously this gasket has been leaking for a while. I can see that. And the valve cover gasket's been leaking for a while in this motor, because nobody never changes the back gaskets. So it's been running down and down and down. But this motor don't have any oil in it. Like I said, this from the pick and pull, my second home. Well, might be my third home. The second home is YouTube. Or maybe my YouTube be my third home. I don't know. But these are, I believe they are 15 millimeters. Those are 15s. Got the impact. You know me, I just zip them on off. And this is hard to do. Holding my GoPro. So I'm gonna sit y'all down for a minute. Just so I can remove that bracket. Now all of these are 3/8. But let me make sure. Yes, they are all 3/8. So y'all know how to do it. I'm about to get to work. Alright. Got the oil pan off. Sitting over there. Drain the rest of the oil out of it. Cleaned it off a little bit. Here's the gasket. It's a lot easier if the motor is not in the car. But a lot of people don't have that pleasure of having the motor out the car. So there's that odd, weird oil pan gasket. Like you use some silicone here, silicone there, silicone in all four corners. But I was watching other YouTubers. They say that you better off using silicone all over these. But I'm just gonna put them in those. It's a Velcro. It ain't like it's an aftermarket made in China one where I would just silicone the whole thing, top and bottom. But I'm just going to put silicone in the spots where they already got silicone. And there's that heater, because it's hot outside. I mean, ooh, it's hot. It's cold outside. Negative 1 degrees or 2 degrees. I can see my breath. GoPro about to go dead. So I'm going to move on to, I'm going to button this up later on in the video. We're going to move on to, since we got the motor out the car, change the valve cover gaskets, change those aluminum elbows up there. So y'all can see what I'm doing. Because it's like, I think this is the easier way. When I'm not working on the car, all up in the car, y'all can't really see what I'm doing. I try to explain where the bolts are at. Y'all know from the last video when I changed valve cover gaskets on this motor while I was still in the car. But didn't have to do no oil pan gasket, thankfully. But I do have a 3800 Series 2 motor I gotta do the oil pan gasket on. So I'll be ordering another one of those. They're like $40 off Amazon for that oil pan gasket. And I do believe all these are 15 millimeters. So let's get started. So like I was saying, there's only 3 15 millimeter bolts. Got to zip off. Remove this bracket. And it's easier. Everything is easier if it's not in the car. But if it was in the car, go check out my last video. Got me doing this. Just want to pry on it until she breaks loose. without damaging anything. Yeah, pop that one out. Get this bottom one. Okay, I guess this is a lot easier if the motor's in the car. Oops, my bad. I got the top one. Let's see if it broke. Yep, it broke off in there. But that's how you remove those. But here come that heat. And here's your water pump. And I got a bolt from somewhere. Don't know where this came from. But that's how you remove that. Like I said, usually it's easier when it's in the car. But you get these replaced. Because usually they do break right here, or they break up in here. But these is like pretty decent. You see that one didn't break. But now I gotta get that little piece out of there. So I'll catch y'all back in a few. My battery's still going dead. What? So moving on from that bracket for your coolant or your heater core, whatever you want to call that bracket is. I still don't know what that bracket is. In the last video, I can't remember what that bracket is. Now we're going to the valve cover gaskets. A lot easier when the motor is out the car. I can really show y'all what I'm doing. So first I'm going to remove the spark plugs. Okay, I'm going to try to remove the spark plugs. Wires. Get them out my way. Toss those over there. Then you gotta move this plate right here, which is a 13 millimeter. It should come off pretty easy. Or you can just loosen the plate. Whichever go good for you. I just remove it. I'm making a big old mess. Then, just like the oil pan, these are 13. I mean, these are, keep saying 13, those are 3/8. I don't know why everything else is metric and those are standard. Should be able to pull it on off. Move the gasket. No good. Throw that down there. And move to the other side. So, unlike the back side of the motor, the front side, you will have to remove your motor mount. Just like I see me doing another video, but it's a lot easier if the motor is already out the car. I don't know how many times we're going to say that. But you got two 13 millimeter bolts back there. One actually got a star head, I don't know why. But you got two 13s back there. Two 15s and another 13. Because you have to remove this bracket to remove the valve cover gasket. Let me show y'all how it's done. About time that heater cut off. I tell you it's cold outside. I'm going to start at the top right here. These going to take the longest. Because obviously you can't get nothing in there. I wish I could get some in there to zip these out. But you can't. Like I said, these are 213 millimeters. Make sure you remove just one motor mount. Because obviously you got to get it in here. To change your valve, see, that's the easier one. To change these valve cover gaskets. I do recommend people to change your valve cover gaskets when they're leaking. Just don't let them leak and just keep putting oil in your car. Because one day you might forget, or let somebody borrow your car, be low on oil, and there goes your motor. Now, to this side, like I said, this one will take the longest because you can't really get nothing in there. And you can't like just break it loose and get it out with your finger. This one you got to turn all the way out. And watch out for the fuel injector. You don't want to break that. While you doing this, but y'all know how I get down whenever I do a motor swap. I change valve cover gasket, oil pan gaskets. Sometimes I even change the oil filtering adapter housing gasket. It all depends on how much it costs. But usually cars do get new valve cover gaskets, spark plugs, wires. Because it's easier when the motor is out the car to get all this preventative maintenance done. I ain't trying to make this video that long. See, it's still in there. Still got some threads left. Almost up to the intake. Where I can't get the ratchet off. Well, I'm gonna keep trying that one. Hope to get these 15s out of here. Or grab the 13 first at the bottom. Then grab the two 15s, but here come that heater. That's why I don't like working on cars in the winter. Whereas my YouTube channel was bigger, we had to go through this. I would have had to get monetized, have a shop built. Hey, that's loose. Oh, that's out. Now let's grab the What I like about these motors is that they mark the coil pack, well, the distributors, or the ignition coils, whatever you want to call it. They all marked. And have watched all my other videos. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I know what they all are. So I'm just gonna remove these, get these out of my way, and get this valve cover gasket off. Then we can start putting everything back together again. I told you those are 3/8. See, this gasket been replaced before. It's blue. Like I said, people normally change the easier gasket first when it's leaking. So they changed this one. The other gasket was orange. The other gasket was the original one from the factory. The blue one might have been aftermarket or it might have been a Fail Pro, I don't know. But that's how you do what I'm doing. There's nothing to it but to do it. Like I said, y'all seen the other one. So now it's time to smack everything back together. And luckily for me, I decided to change the spark plugs and wires while I have them anyway, because they're over there. Because whoever changed the spark plugs and wires made a oopsie. They forgot to change one. So they probably got in a rush. Forgot to change one. Got an old one up in here. Really don't got nothing left. All the other ones are auto lights, except for this one is an AC. So somebody got in a rush and forgot to pull a wire out. A plug. Well, I say wire. You got to pull a plug out. So luckily, like I said, we already got wires over there and spark plugs. Got some NGKs. And we're going to be throwing them in there. So watch me smack this all back together again.
Contigo
right, everybody. Now to put that bracket back on. And I was told or informed to use some silicone because those O-rings go bad. Some people say change the O-rings. Order the GM brand, but I couldn't find them. Other people say even and use silicone. They help seal it so you don't be changing them again. If I knew that before, when I did this before another car, I would have used silicone. But now I know to use silicone unless I want to be doing this again. But I ain't going to be doing this again because this car is going to get sold. Okay. So I probably didn't have to use no silicone. But you want to use a little bit of silicone on both sides. And just line them up with the holes and stick them back in. Just like that. Of course, I got to find my bolt holes. A little bit too far in. There we go. Make sure you ain't a little bit too far in because you can push them. Yeah, see, you can push those all the way up in there. Like I was a little bit too far in. All these should be the same bolts. I can't get my boat started. Oh no, oh no, oh no, 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 no. Not that one. Got that one. So that's how y'all change this. Button this back up. Get back on the oil pan. And let's not forget, while you in here, you might as well change the gasket to your pickup tube because Bell Pro provides you with one. So why not use it? And that's 8mm. So let's get her done. that's going to be a wrap. We got everything that we set out to do done on this motor. Even some little extras. So right there, I replaced the fuel regulator. Because I did take this one off this car and put it on a different car. So I had to order another one. So did just put that fuel regulator back on there. We got new spark plugs, new wires, new elbows. And a new oil pan gasket. And I don't know if you can do one of these. It's going to be pretty tricky because it's a bolt. And I forgot I can rotate this. There's another bolt like right here, right in the front. I don't know how you're supposed to get to that one. That'd be a tricky one to get to because you don't even see it. You can see this one and that one. But there's one right here because this pen comes to a point. I didn't see that, but cleaned her up off camera what I could on both sides. But she should be ready to drop in. Another car. White car. And got the transmission over there. Got a transmission. To attach to that motor. I have nothing more to say. Like I said, we set them, got done with spark plugs, wires, valve cover gaskets, oil pan gasket, and these little elbows. There's nothing more to do to this motor besides once you get in the car to spray her down. We'll probably spray her down before we put her in the car. We'll have to cover up the intake with a throttle body so no water will get up in her. But that's going to be a wrap. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't like this video, give me a thumbs down. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Let us know how we did on that motor. Please, if you would, share this video on your social media with your friends and your family. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to Easy E's Rebuilds. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you'll be notified whenever we release a new video. We take Cash App donations. We take donations of cars if you're new to this channel. And we have merch at teespring.com. Not like the shirt I'm wearing right now. This was custom made from another subscriber that we worked on their truck. So you can go follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. I've been in the garage too long. There's all links in the description area below. Go check it out down there. With all that said, stay tuned and stay blessed, people. Deuces!